Ask the experts the quickest way to improve your average, and the answer is always the same: spare shooting. A timely pickup can turn catastrophe
really high in the big four
into triumph.
He moves in off of that, and if he gets a pinch fast, it goes light. Look out! He got it! Four! Are you kidding me?
Walter Ray Williams Jr., incredible shot!
And on the other end of the spectrum, sometimes the simplest of tasks can become the biggest mistakes.
He's got to make it. He's a good spare shooter, but he's got to convert the 10-pin right here.
Single pin spare, misses it! He missed it! And Duke has won the US Open.
Everyone wants to throw more strikes, and that includes me. But the quickest way to improve your average is to be a better spare shooter. Johnny Petraglia once told me that being a great spare shooter wouldn't make me a champion, but not being one would never give me a chance. Here's our staff, and they'll show you some different ways to shoot spares.
Getting lined up on your house pattern and throwing strikes is a great thing, just like Amitri is doing. But one of the important things to bowling is spare shooting. Something my dad always told me: make your spares, strikes will come. Spares are going to add pins not only to the game you are bowling, but also to your average at the end of the season. Those extra pins and making spares is going to improve your game overall. We're going to teach you about an easy sparing system that you can incorporate into your game no matter what level bowler you are. It's the 3-6-9 system. Now, the key factor on the 3-6-9 system is you already need to be lined up and have your strike target. Amitria is lined up. She has her left foot as a right-handed bowler placed on the 18 board, and her strike target is the second arrow. For the 2-pin, she is going to move 3 boards to the right. That is now going to place her feet on the 15 board, and she is still going to use the second arrow as her target to make the 2-pin. Amitria is now ready to shoot at the 4-pin. To shoot the 2-pin, she was on the 15 board. She will now move 3 more boards to the right, which will place her feet on 12, but she is still going to use her strike target of the second arrow or the 10 board to make the 4-pin. We are now going to shoot at the 7-pin. Same system. Amitria is now going to move 3 more boards to the right. She will now be lined up on the 9 board and still use the second arrow or the 10 board to make the 7-pin. The 3-6-9 sparing system is also used for spares on the right-hand side of the lane. Amitria is lined up for a strike on the 18 board. She is now going to shoot at the 3-pin. She will move her feet 3 boards to the left, which now puts her on 21 board, and she will use the second arrow to shoot at the 3-pin. To shoot at the 6-pin, Amitria will now move another 3 boards to the left, putting her feet on the 24 board, still using the second arrow as her target. Another sparing option is using a plastic ball or a ball that doesn't hook. This is what our elite players use most of the time because it doesn't hook. It takes the lane condition out of play, so it doesn't matter what you're bowling on. And once you find your sparing system with the plastic ball, you can use that sparing system no matter where you go. Teresa, one of our elite women bowlers, always uses a plastic ball to shoot at all of her single pin spares. She's going to shoot at a 10 pin. Her starting area is 35 board, and she uses the 17 board as her target. Teresa is now going to shoot at the 6 pin. She's still going to use the 3-6-9 system for her feet and use the 17 board as her target because the ball does not hook. She's going to move 3 boards to the right. Now she'll be on 32 board and still use 17. We are now going to shoot at the 3 pin. Teresa will move another 3 boards, which is 6 boards to the right off of her 10 pin position. So she will now be on the 29 board, still using 17 as her target. For spares on the left side of the lane using a plastic ball, get lined up making the 7 pin. Then it's easy from there. Continue to move depending on what pin you leave on the lane, 3 boards, 6 boards, or 9 boards, still using the same target on the lane. We've explained 2 sparing systems for you. The one using your strike target and your strike ball with the 3-6-9 system. This is a great sparing system when you bowl on a house shot. Same shot every week, things usually don't change. You also probably have a little bit of margin for error, meaning you don't always have to hit your target because the ball always hooks to your spare. That's okay. Using the plastic ball, though, is definitely the option I would suggest for tournament competition. Sometimes those lane conditions can be a little difficult. Using the spare ball takes the lane condition and the lane out of play and allows you to use the same foot target and target on the lane to make the spares. Good luck.
If you're having a good night and throwing the ball well, you might be lucky enough to only leave a few corner pins. Of course, that might not be so good if you dread shooting them. Here's some tips on how to make those pesky 7 and 10 pins because, well, USBC makes it against the rules to shoot it this way.
A great practice drill to help you with your spare shooting, especially that dreaded 7 and 10 pin that gives every bowler problems, is low ball. We have Jean-Marc and Terry here competing against each other in a low ball competition. In low ball, what you want to do is knock down the least amount of pins every time you shoot at the rack. So this is a perfect time to practice that 7 or that 10 pin. Now, if you use a plastic ball, it's probably a little bit easier because the ball doesn't hook, easier to make those corner pins. But you know what? Change it up a little bit. Use your strike ball. Try flattening it out a little bit. This gives you another option. If you don't want to use your spare ball, you have the option to use your strike ball. It's a game, it's practice, and practice makes perfect.
We all know that the 7-10 and the Big 4 can be virtually impossible to make, but a washout can be made a majority of the time if you approach it the right way. I see most players approach it in completely the wrong way. If you can leave the head pin after throwing your strike ball, you probably don't have any business shooting a washout by trying to hook it. By changing your strategy just a little bit, you can significantly increase your odds of making this spare. Like it's my job.
A very commonly bowlers leave nowadays is a washout. And most bowlers try to attempt it using their strike ball and their strike line and try to go over the opposite side, and they rarely have success, maybe 10%. The reason bowlers don't have very much success using their strike ball at the washout is the angle of attack, or the angle that you have to hit that head pin to get over the 10 pin, is very small. Think about it like if you're shooting pool, and if you had a pool ball or a ball sitting on the center dot of a pool table, and you're trying to shoot it or cut it into the corner pocket on that pool table over on the right hand side. Would you put your cue ball behind the line on the right side or the left side to try to make that shot? Of course you would put it on the left side. It gives you a better angle. So that's what we recommend for you to do at the washout, is throw your spare ball and shoot it from the left. It gives you a better angle of attack and probably and most likely more success at picking up that washout. When you're attacking your spares, think of different angles that you want to attack them to give you the best options to be able to pick that spare. Sometimes shooting from the left will be more advantageous than shooting from the right.